Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tayyaba Riaz and I am lecturer botany at Cholistan University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Bahawalpur. Today the topic of my presentation is climate smart agriculture practices for quinoa production. So, what is climate smart agriculture or CSA? CSA or climate smart agriculture is basically an approach for ensuring the food security in this changing environment. As you know, the climate is very quickly changing day by day. So the main focus of CSA is increase productivity, enhance resilience to changing climatic conditions or risks, and the third one is to reduce the emissions. And the second part of my presentation is basically focusing on quinoa. Uh, Quinoa, I have selected quinoa crop because it is highly resilient crop in different climatic conditions, such as from cold regions to drought bearing regions, etc. And the second one is it has high nutritional value, and the third one is that it can bear different type of stresses as well. So I have selected quinoa as a prime candidate for CSA practice. What is climate change? uh, Basically, climate change refers to the long shift in temperature and weather patterns. As you know, the agriculture is very sensitive towards temperature, pH, and water availability as well. Um, Climate change affect change in temperature, which cause evapotranspiration. Number two, it increase extreme weather effects, and number three, it affects on the crop yield and livestock health as well. Number four, it will introduce new pests and diseases uh, as changing climate is being observed everywhere. This is a graph of changing temperature over the years. I have taken this graph from United Nations websites. It has two parts. Number one, x-axis on which number of years have been given, and number two is y-axis where change of temperature we can observe. Basically, we have two parts. Number one, before industrial revolution, and number two, after industrial revolution. Before industrial revolution, there is rise in temperature. There is fluctuation in temperature, but not so high. But as you see, after the industrial revolution, there is much rise in temperature because of emission of gases, emission of different pollutions or different things, etc. So, what is climate smart agriculture? Climate smart agriculture is basically an approach of agriculture development that aims to increase the productivity in a sustainable way while addressing the challenges of the climate change. As we have climate change, which affects our crops and agriculture, so there should be approaches to overcome this situation of climate change. It has basically three main objectives. Number one, increase productivity. Number two, enhance resilience to this changing climate. And then number three, we have to reduce emissions in order to sustain our environment. So I have selected quinoa, Chenopodium quinoa, which is also commonly known as quinoa, belongs to the plant family Amaranth family. Um, it has following classification: Kingdom Plantae, Angiosperms, Caryophyllales, Amaranthaceae, Chenopodiaceae, Chenopodium, and Chenopodium quinoa. Quinoa. So here is the cultivation map. The major quinoa producing regions are South America, North America, Europe, and Asia. So here are the different reasons why I have selected quinoa, because it is also called as superfood. Number one, complete protein source. It has all the 9 essential amino acid in it. So uh, it can be called a complete protein food. Number two, it has high vitamins and minerals. They are rich in magnesium, phosphorus, manganese, folate, and zinc. Number three, it is gluten free. Many people in our country is suffering from this intolerance. The people who are suffering with gluten intolerance, so this crop is perfect for them to use as a cereal crop. Number four, it has high fibers. High fibers mean it will lower your cholesterol level and also maintain in your weight. Um, Number fifth is low glycemic index. Glycemic index is basically amount of sugar which has been rise as you consume a particular food. Um, there are different values of glycemic index. The low glycemic index is known to be 55 or less. Medium will be 56 to 69. High will be 70 or more. So this crop is ideal for having a lower glycemic index, which is 53, which means that it has very slow impact on your blood sugar level. The number six is rich in antioxidants. It has many different antioxidants such as quercetin, camphorol, which is an anti-cancer, and also combat or fight your the inflammation which is uh, produced in your body. So here the graph is shown nutritional analysis between quinoa, wheat, and rice. So overall, the quinoa is superb, nutritious as compared to wheat and rice. So it has ideal for your health and can consume in a variety of ways. So how we can use quinoa? It can be used in various methods, such as it can be cooked, it can be used as flour, it can be used as powder, it can be toasted, and even it can use as flakes. Additionally, the young leaves of quinoa plant can be consumed as leafy vegetable, provide a nutritious addition to salads and dishes. So here you can imagine how quinoa can be consumed in a variety of ways. Here are the cultivation environment which is suitable for quinoa production. So as I already described that it has highly resilient crop and can be grown in a variety of climate conditions, um, from colder regions to the drought bearing regions. So here are the growing tips for quinoa. Um Selection of climate resilient quinoa varieties are heat tolerant varieties, drought tolerant varieties, and saline tolerant varieties. Quinoa can Quinoa real can be used in the arid regions of Sindh and Balochistan. Titicaca can be used uh, as they have ability to adapt the cooler climate. For example, northern areas of Pakistan, Q52 has adaptability to varied climate conditions of Pakistan. For example, Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Punu are suitable for drought and saline soil climate uh, situations. Here are the growing tips of quinoa. Number one, well-drained soil should be preferred to if you want to grow your quinoa crop. Number two, your pH should be maintained between 6.0 to 8.5. Your soil should be fertile with compost and well rotted manure, etc. There should be lowest soil disturbance. The time of the quinoa cultivation is November to early December, and the depth of the seed should be 1 to 4 inch deep. It requires consistent moisture for its germination and growth as well. And we should avoid overwatering, which will cause root rot. So let's explore some key climate agriculture innovations which are transforming uh, for our agriculture. Number one is precision agriculture. Precision agriculture uses GPS sensor and drones to optimize resources uh, and improve yield. This innovation reduces um, the environmental impact of the farming by ensuring that input like water, fertilizer are used efficiently. For example, GPS guided tractors. Number two is vertical farming. In vertical farming, crops are grown in stacked layers or vertically inclined surfaces. This approach use less land and water, making it a highly sustainable farming method. It allows for year-round production and significantly reduce water consumption. For example, hydroponics. Number third is biotechnology and genetic engineering. This involves the use of GM, genetically modified crops, and CRISPR technology to develop the plant with desirable traits such as pest resistance, improved nutrition, and drought tolerance. For example, BT cotton, golden rice, and drought resistant maize, etc. Number fourth is conservation agriculture. Conservation agriculture focuses on mainly uh, maintaining the soil health by using practices like no-till farming, cover cropping, and crop rotation. Crop rotation is basically a method in which different crops are being grown uh, one by one to enhance the nutrition of that particular area. Uh, and cover cropping is basically when one crop has been harvested, the second crop will be replaced by it so that soil erosion would be minimized. And it will also help to reduce soil erosion as well as conserve biodiversity. The fifth one is agroecology. Agroecology integrates ecological principle into the agriculture to promote the biodiversity and reduce the chemical inputs. This system supports the sustainable farming by enhancing the ecosystem services, for example, agroforestry. Sixth one is smart agriculture. Smart irrigation system. Smart irrigation system use real-time data to optimize the water usage. These systems help to conserve water, reduce energy use, and prevent over irrigation. For example, drip irrigation, sensor-based system, or sprinkler systems are used in this method. Seven point is robotics and automation. The use of robotics and automated systems in farming increase the efficiency and reduce the labor cost and improve the precision. For example, autonomous tractors, robotics, harvesters, etc. Number eight is AI machine learning. Of course, as world is progressing in AI, so the AI and machine learning are also applied in agriculture for data analysis and predictive modeling. These technologies can enhance the crop management and predict the weather pattern as well as improve the logistics. For example, AI power crop monitoring and yield prediction algorithms. Number nine is sustainable energy use, integrating new renewable energy sources like solar power and wind energy into the farming, reduce the carbon footprints, and promotes the sustainability. These energy efficient practices help lower the energy cost and support the long term resilience. For example, solar power, irrigation, and wind turbines, etc. Another method is integrated biological control. Integrated biological control is basically integrated pest control in which different pests which are harmful for the crops are being killed naturally by their enemies, predators, parasitoids, pathogens, or other organisms such as plants and animals, etc. So there are different methods which are being used in integrated biological controls. Number one is predators. Predators are basically the use of predators are being used as a natural enemies to hunt and consume the pest. For example, ladybugs, beetles, and termites, etc. Parasitoids are the organism which lay their eggs inside the host pest and eventually kill them. For example, parasitic wasps, etc. Pathogens are basically microorganisms that cause disease in the pest. For example, Bacillus thuringiensis, Boveria bassiana, NPV, and GV. Beneficial insect and animals are also used to reduce the pest population. For example, predatory birds for rodents and bats, etc. Insect repelling plants are basically are plants that are being used to repel the specific pest which ultimately will reduce the your yield of the crop. For example, nematodes are being repelled by marigolds, flies and mosquitoes by basil plants, and aphids and spiders are being repelled by the garlic. Another method is augmentation. Augmentation is basically releasing the natural enemies into the environment. They have two methods: inoculative and inundative release. Other method is conservation biological control. Conservation biological control is basically modify the environment to support the natural enemies. For example, plant covering. The last method which is being used in integrated biological control is sterile insect technique. In this technique, we release the sterilized insect for the reduction of the pest population um, through mating disruption. For example, sterilized flies and mosquitoes, etc. There are, you can see the innovations, for example, GPS guided tractors and drone cameras, etc., for fertilizing as well as monitoring the crops. In second picture, you can see the robots which are harvesting vegetables. There are some methods for vertical farming, and the last one is aeroponics, in which we can grow fishes and plants combinedly. So in this slide, you can see different methods to manage your water consumption and application of nutrients as well. The number one and most important is drip irrigation. It is basically a system comprising of wires or drips uh, in which the water and nutrients are given to the plant in the form of uh, droplets or drips to the roots to conserve nutrient and water. Other methods include terrace farming and rainwater harvesting as well. So here is a conclusion of my presentation. Number one, quinoa has high resilience towards drought and high temperature, which make it a suitable crop for the areas where conventional cereals may struggle. Number two, with the help of these techniques, we are able to perform agricultural practices more efficiently as before. So these are the references from which I have taken my material for my presentation, and thank you.